got to add that one to the queue
Yeah.
as well. So awesome stuff from you there. For me, I got another book. So you're doing this is your third Krista Faust book you've done on the show. We've had 4 TLDR worthy Krista Faust books. This is my 4th Mark Millar book that I'm going to be talking about, and actually the 5th time that we're talking about a Mark Millar book on here, because you also did Superman Red Sun, which I didn't realize was a Millar book. I did Jupiter's Legacy, Reborn, King of Spies, and now I'm talking the Magic Order, which is from Image Comics. All 3 of those other books, aside from the Superman, are from Image Comics. Written by Mark Millar. Art in the first volume by Olivier Coipel. The second volume was by Stuart Immonen, but their style was pretty similar. Like, it was to the point where, like, I didn't realize it was somebody else till I actually checked on the credits and stuff. And then the third volume, which is ongoing right now, the artist is Gigi Cavanago, I believe. Colors Dave Stewart, letters Pete Doherty. And if I was to rank the 4 that I've reviewed on this show so far, see, okay, so Jupiter's Legacy, I know people want to make fun of like the show, and I understandably so. Like, I watched the first episode like you, I'm out, see you later. But the story was not like, the story was good. The art is a little bit like, it's very different from anything we kind of see in comics. So it could kind of put some people off. Still, it was good. That said, I'd probably put it at number 4 on my list here. King of Spies was just like chef's kiss awesome. And I feel like I got to put that at 1. But I can't, like, in good conscience say with the Magic Order or Reborn is like number 3 on this list, because like they're all like, those 2 are just below King of Spies. So like I even then, like, Magic Order is pretty fucking awesome too. So the 3rd volume began in July. I have read the first 2 volumes of this. I have not started on the 3rd one yet, but that's fine. Don't want to talk about that on here. I'm not even going to talk about the 2nd one really that much on here, because I don't want to get into spoilers or anything like that. That might, because there is some stuff where you kind of need to know that happened in the 1st volume in order to read the 2nd. But at the same time, they're their own stories. It's like, it's connected, but at the same time, like, and you're dealing with the same characters, but at the same time, like, there's only like just little things that you have to know. There's certain details, I should say, that you have to know from the 1st volume in order to fully appreciate the 2nd. This was apparently, I didn't realize this, show, Millar's first Netflix comics. Of course, he has a deal with Netflix. And I'd love to see this turned into a show at some point down the line. Obviously, multiple volumes makes a lot of sense. You could do movies, though, too. I know you usually wait till the end for you to ask that question, but given how important it is with Millar stuff, yeah, sorry. Just cucking you left and right. Appropriate for the book you talked about today, though, maybe.
Well, yeah, yes, actually.
Oh, well, there you go. The synopsis. We live in a world where we've never seen a monster. That in the Magic Order is the reason we sleep safely in our beds. Magic meets the mob in the Magic Order as 5 families of magicians sworn to protect our world for generations must battle an enemy who's picking them off one by one. By day, they live among us as our neighbors, friends, and coworkers. But by night, they are sorcerers, magicians, and wizards that can protect us from the force of darkness, unless the darkness gets them first. And I'll tell you what. So, when we're dealing with something that's gotten multiple issues, it's not like we're doing our what's new or anything like that. We can kind of get into more what happens in the first issue, especially the first few pages, right? That's fair game, right?
Yeah. I mean, all this is fair game. It's been out for years.
Right. No, that's fair. But I mean, like, but we don't want to spoil too much, but as much as we're trying to give people an idea what's going on. So the first 5 pages or so, like, you get these 2 like clear, magicians, something in that regard, seem a little bit, you probably can't trust these 2 characters very much. And then we get a look inside like somebody's apartment building in a big city and everything like that. It's a family and whatnot. And these 2 this couple is going to bed, and their son comes in and uses the dad's wand and just right through his head, like in the first 5 pages. Like, night, see you later, bye, daddy. Yeah, yeah. And
yes.
Like, wait a minute, what that? Okay, like that just sets the tone for the entire series.
Yeah,
and it's like an ultimate what the fuck just happened thing. So I like, and that's like in those first few pages, either you need something that, like, an interesting like story that's kind of going to draw you in, or you need like some cool art that's going to really get people excited, or you just need like a shocking moment that's just like, huh? And this Magic Order absolutely delivers that in the very first issue, and then it never lets foot off the gas for the entirety of the series, because you have these characters, like they say, they're getting picked off left and right, getting targeted. Where like the cast that you're dealing with in the first volume, like you do see some of the major players in the second volume, but not a lot of them. Not a lot of them. So the main cast in this, we have Cordelia Moonstone, we have Regan Moonstone and Gabriel Moonstone. These are all siblings. Their father is Leonard Moonstone, who is the leader of the Magic Order. Now, Joe, we talk about all these people having regular jobs, right? If you were, let's say you're a wizard, Joseph.
You're a wizardary.
But you have to go out in the real world and still have a regular job like these people. What are you going to do to protect your secret identity as a wizard? What would be your occupation to make people not assume shit?
Oh, I'm going to go work at fucking King Richard's Fair. I'm just blend right in.
Blend right in. Okay, well, you know what? You're not far off from what Leonard Moonstone did, because his normal job occupation, he's a stage magician.
Yep,
he is a stage magician, and his daughter Cordelia is an escapologist too. So she's a bit of a drunken mess too. So there's a lot going on with her. I think Regan's the middle child, if I'm not mistaken. But he's like the one that's there with his dad. Like, I'm not saying he's like the goody two shoes kid, but he's like there. Like, he's there doing all the stuff, kind of like comfortable being in the the Magic Order and doing his own thing and whatnot. And then we have Gabriel Moonstone, who was essentially the golden child. He was like the guy who was going to take over for his father eventually down the line, all that stuff. And he's married to a non-magic woman, Louise. But the problem is, the reason why he's not involved in the magic world anymore is his daughter, Rosetta, died as a kid. And, how that happened is a big thing, that's part of, it's one of the many little things that Millar kind of, features in all this, is like a social commentary kind of thing, but it's definitely like a serious social commentary thing that he uses magic through. I don't want to talk about that because the spoiler-ish kind of thing. But these are all cool characters. I think Cordelia's probably Reagan's cool too. But okay, if we're talking about your favorite character, Joe, now there's a lot of other members of the Magic Order, but the Moonstone family is definitely at the center of it all. Then there's Uncle Edgar, who I can't say much about because, again, spoiler stuff, but that will be your favorite character after you read the first volume of the Magic Order.
Is he an erotic mess?
No, he's not. But you're gonna like him. Like, he's not around a ton, but like, as Wes likes to put it, and to go back to our baseball conversation, his slugging percentage is through the roof. So
I like that.
You will see. But he's pretty cool. And then the villain in all this is Madame Albany, and she wants this evil book, this book of dark magic called the Orichalcum, I believe is what you call it. Now, she has kind of an issue, and it's a similar issue that you deal with.
Orichalcum sounds like something you used to powder your balls with.
Yeah, well, jeez. Right. Hey, keep your peepland talk to your fucking part of the show, all right? But anyways, with what we're dealing with here is still different than the second volume of the Magic Order, but at the same time, like, there's this contingency of magicians, sorcerers, and whatnot that don't like the idea that they're like protecting the humans. Like, we're more powerful. We should be able to do what the hell we want. It's kind of a similar vibe to what goes on with Excellence, but there's a lot, like, Excellence is more like they're suppressed, and that's more of a social commentary on like racism and everything like that. This is more like we're the protectors, and we're trying to do the right thing and not abuse our power, keep people in check and things like that. It's not like you have this like overarching, like, people who are manipulating things and like don't have these powers necessarily. Like, we're all on the same playing field, but now we're taking care of the humans. Some people don't like that. So that there's a staunch difference between those two titles. But again, when you go into the second volume, you deal with a similar thing, but different. And then Madame Albany's like right-hand man, I guess you could say, in this is, well, no, she has a right-hand man that's a shapeshifter, but her hired gun, her assassin in this story, she calls him the Venetian. And Joe, this dude's going to give you nightmares.
That's a badass name for an assassin too, the Venetian.
Yeah, wait till you see him. You can probably look it up and find it on online quickly. But dude, he is That character is awesome. That character is fucking awesome. The first arc of this, like you talk about reading this in one setting, I blew through this. This is available on Hoopla as well. The second volume is too. I'm kind of contemplating not reading the third one week by week and waiting in trade waiting on it. I know we don't like to do that on this show, but clearly the Magic Order has been a success. And I encourage anybody, who to not trade wait as much as I'm going to go and do it too. But man, or I think I'm going to do it, but man, it's fucking awesome. Like it's like that. My thing is like, this is so good that like, I wish it was just in trade form every time because I can blow right through this thing.
Yeah. I mean, what issue is it on now? I mean, you probably just go
still in the second one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. Yeah, but I just don't I don't want to. This is one I don't want to wait week to week on. Like like maybe if I started from the jump, I would, but I just want it all right now. So
that's kind of how I'm feeling about Saga, right? I jumped on as late as I did, was able to rip through it, and now having to wait month to month, like
it's tough.
Fuck. It reads tough. Differently. It really does read differently month to month than it does binging it.
Yeah, for sure. It's that, and that's where like sometimes it's just like I understand like the why you do single issues and stuff like that, but at the same time, man, like I definitely like if someone was to say, yeah, we're going to start doing stuff more like in trades, like straight up going forward. Like, yeah, like there is a little bit more of a risk from a buyer standpoint. Absolutely. And would we be stingier maybe with some of our reviews? Maybe. But at the same time, like as a buyer, like I am more willing to take risks to some like stories like when they're in when I have an idea in trade form and stuff like that. So I don't know. Anyways, but I think that most people probably would take that risk on single issues, which I understand. So either way, the Magic Order from Mark Millar, and then again, Olivia Copel won the first volume, Stuart Immonen in the second volume, and Gigi Cavanago on the current third volume right now, the ongoing volume. Awesome stuff. Recommend you picking that one up. And I'm sure if Hoopla, you can definitely go cruise through those first two volumes, Joe.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic. I mean, it sounds right up my alley. And when you first started reading the synopsis, first thing that popped in my head was excellence. Second thing that popped in is when the fuck are we going to get the finale to excellence? I mean, we give The Last Ronin a fucking hard time, but I mean, I think excellence is like,
yeah, it's excellence than Last Ronin. It's tough.
Yeah. But anyways, I mean, this sounds absolutely fantastic, and it sounds like a typical Mark Millar book, right?
Yeah.
It sounds good. And we got a trade coming up. Trade 60 might be too soon, but this is definitely one that I will put into trade consideration.
Good. I can't wait to hear what you say about it. I know you're going to fucking love it. I can't wait to hear what you say about Uncle Edgar. That's what I'm most excited about. But I haven't talked about it at length now with you. I think I got to put it at number 2 behind King of Spies just because like we've gotten more of it. We haven't gotten more of Reborn. I'd love to get more.
Reborn was so good though.
So it is so good.
Right.
Like that's the thing. Like
Capullo's art, that story.
Yeah. I mean, like when you talk about Mount Rushmore's like Millar, like, and obviously he has Kick-Ass too. Like that's the one we never talk about on this show. But it's like, the guy's done a lot of awesome stuff.
Yeah. He's another guy that slips under the radar, and you don't know why, right? The other one being, Walking Dead. Kirkman, right? Like we talk about Kirkman a lot more than we talk about Brian K. Vaughan and Mark Millar, but like I could rattle off my Mount Rushmore, and I would go, Jeff Lemire, Chip Zdarsky, James Tynion, and then whoever, Sean Lewis, right? But like, it should be Brian K. Vaughan. It should be Tyler Kirkham. It should be Mark Millar, right? Like, so it's just funny how that, like, I think we talked about before too. Millar, I think, is a little bit more prolific in terms of amount that he's writing, right? He writes a little bit more than the Brian K. Vaughan and who's just doing the one title. But like, man, it's so easy to forget. There's so many good fucking writers out there.
Yeah. Millar and Brubaker for me are the two I think on this show that like, as we've gone along, like, I've read, stuff from them, but like, it's just, I've grown to appreciate them more and more.
And that's wild because I should be the Brubaker guy because that's right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I picked up another Brubaker book actually when I stopped by your old LCS a little while ago. I picked up another, I think it was Fatale I picked up. So that's another one.
I think I have that upstairs actually, or maybe I got a different one upstairs. When you come over on Friday, brag, I'll show you.